Hey everybody, can you all hear me? Okay. Thank you for coming out today. It really means a lot to all of us. This is new for most of us, and I really want to just thank everybody for taking time out of their day to come out and learn about us and learn more about judicial elections. I wanted to start out just by asking for a show of hands, who thinks that the criminal legal system is working fantastic? Anybody? So I personally think that our legal system is not working great. And that's one of the reasons why I decided that I was going to run. So my name's Elizabeth Lashley Haynes, and I'm running for Superior Court seat number 67. I always like to learn a lot about everybody, my clients, friends, family, community members. So I'm going to take this opportunity just to tell you a little bit about myself, and hopefully that will inform you a little bit about why I decided to run. I've been a deputy public defender. It's pretty much my only job I've ever had. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. I'm a mom. I'm a mom of a special needs child. I'm a mom of a LGBTQ identifying child, and I've been a lifelong ally. I'm also a wife, been married for about 20 years. And in addition to having all those identities and roles, something about me is I'm just a little fed up after 20 years of being in court. I, like a lot of my colleagues, I've tried case after case after case. I've done everything from misdemeanors to murders. And I've reached a point where I just said, I feel like this isn't working well. And I got tired of feeling that way. So I decided that maybe I would try to do something about it. I'm tired of seeing the revolving door of people coming through the legal system, getting sent to prison for as long as possible, only to be dumped back out on the streets with no resources, no opportunities, and then the cycle continues. We need change. We need judges that have certain attributes. We need judges that have a real serious value for equality. And a lot of my life experiences have put me in that position to understand really what equality means, not just give it lip service. I've been down to Montgomery, Alabama. I've seen the lynching memorial. I've seen EJI's museum. That tracked slavery to incarceration. I'm married to an African-American man who has been pulled over in our small community in the 10 years we've lived there more times than I can count on my hands and he can count on his hands. And I've never been pulled over once. These are the types of lived experiences that help you understand equality and lack of equality in our judicial system. And this is who I am. We also need judges that have compassion, and not the fake type of compassion where you just say, oh yeah, that's so nice, I'm so sorry of what you've been through. I mean the type of compassion that you understand that that woman who came into court, who was an hour late, who explained that she had to take 3 buses and has a toddler on her arm, as she walks in the courtroom, that type of compassion, to understand what people go through before they walk in the courtroom door. And this is who I am. Sorry to digress, but I just looked over at my mom and I remembered that, when I was in about first grade, I came home from school one day and I was crying and my mom was like, what's going on? And I was crying because this kid on the playground was getting picked on. I remember this really vividly, by a big group of kids. And it hurt me. And my mom said, well, did you do anything about it? And I was like, of course I did something about it. I stood up for that kid because I've never been swayed by the crowd. I've never been swayed by having to go along with a group think. And that stayed with me all the way through high school, college, and into my years, and it sort of informed me being a public defender. And I will continue to do that on the bench. I will continue to be independent. I will continue to be an independent thinker that's not swayed by a uniform that takes the stand, or not swayed by a big donor that's going to donate to my campaign. I have the independence and also the bravery to think independently. This is who I am. Speaking of bravery, we need judges that are going to be brave. We need judges that are going to come up with different solutions to crime, to poverty. We need judges that are going to do something different than send everybody to prison. We need solutions for what brought people into the criminal justice system. We need judges that recognize and appreciate addiction programs, mental health programs, rehabilitation programs. We need judges that are going to implement restorative justice. We need to be able to hear from victims and honor victims because, frankly, I see plenty of victims, and they're mostly people of color. They're mostly marginalized people. And guess what? They rarely ever get listened to. So in restorative justice, we actually listen and we center the victim and we hear what they want. We hear what they want for themselves, for their families, and for their communities. And this is true getting at public safety. So I'm here to say, if we want to continue to do what we're doing right now, y'all can vote for my opponents, the DAs, and that's fine. You should. And guess what? We'll be building another county jail soon. But if you want a different solution, if you want compassion, you want judges that are going to act with dignity and understand equality, then you can vote for me and you can vote for my wonderful slate mates. Thank you so much.